The wind came low across the plain, dragging dust like a slow hand over the earth. It carried the smell of dry sage and something sour beneath it, fear, maybe, or exhaustion baked too long under the sun. Near the edge of the trail, where wagon ruts cut shallow scars into the ground, a girl stood bent forward, one palm pressed to her belly, the other gripping a torn shawl at her throat. She had been walking since morning. Maybe longer. The sun hung westward now, heavy and white, pulling sweat from her skin and leaving salt along her lips. Her dress had once been blue. Now it was the color of road, dirt, and old sweat, stretched tight where her body swelled with the child she carried. Each step was measured careful, as though the ground itself might betray her. A mile off. A single rider moved slow, horse tired enough to show it. The man sat easy in the saddle, reins loose, shoulders sloped forward in the way of someone who had learned not to rush what could not be hurried. His hat brim cast his eyes in shadow. Dust clung to his boots and the hem of his coat. He had the look of a man between places, not running toward anything, not yet decided on leaving something behind. He saw her before he meant to. At first, she was just a shape against the shimmer, a dark line wavering in the heat. He slowed the horse, squinting, head tilting slightly, as if the horizon had spoken. When the shape did not fade, he drew closer, boots creaking, leather sighing with each step of the horse. She heard him then. The sound reached her like a warning bell, hooves, slow, deliberate. Not a stampede, not a chase. She turned, one hand bracing her back, eyes narrowing against the light. For a moment, neither moved. The man reined in 10 paces away. He did not speak. He took her in the way men did when they had seen too much, quickly, quietly, without judgment. The swollen belly, a cracked lips. The way her fingers trembled, though the air was warm. She was young. Younger than the lines at her eyes suggested. You lost? He asked at last. His voice was rough, not unkind. It carried the scrape of long days and few words. She swallowed. Her throat worked twice before sound came. No. The lie sat between them, thin as smoke. He glanced down the trail behind her, empty, ahead. The land rolled on, bare and unforgiving. No town close. No water he could see. You headed somewhere, he said. Her gaze dropped to the dust. The horse shifted, flicking its tail. The man waited. Silence stretched, filled only by wind worrying at the hem of her dress. She took a breath and winced, fingers digging into cloth. How far? He asked. She shook her head once. Too far. That answer was truer. He swung down from the saddle, boots hitting ground with a dull thud. He moved slow, careful not to crowd her. Up close, she smelled of sun and fear, and something faintly sweet milk maybe, or the promise of it. Her eyes were dark, ringed with SLEEPLES, SNESS. You got a name? He asked. Anna. He nodded. I'm Eli. She did not offer her hand. He did not ask. Another gust came, stronger this time. Anna swayed. Eli stepped forward without thinking, hand hovering near her arm, stopping just short of touching. Pride flared in her eyes. She steadied herself alone. I don't need charity, she said, though her voice shook. He pulled a canteen from his saddle and held it out. Not close enough to force it. Not far enough to withdraw it. Water ain't charity, he said. It's survival. She hesitated, then took it. Drank carefully, like someone who feared it might be taken back. When she handed it to him, her fingers lingered a moment longer than needed. thank you," she said, barely above the wind. Eli studied the horizon again. The sun was dropping faster now. Night would come hard out here, cold, unforgiving. He thought of his ranch, small and quiet, a day's ride north. He thought of trouble, the kind that followed lone women and men who chose sides. "You can ride with me," he said. "At least till dark." Her eyes lifted, sharp with suspicion. "Why?" He met her gaze. "Because leaving you here feels—" Wrong. Something passed over her face. Then relief tangled with fear. She looked down at her belly, then back at the empty land. Before she could answer, a sound drifted from far behind them. Laughter, male voices. Rough, too many. Eli's jaw tightened. He turned slightly, placing himself between Anna and the trail. "Decide quick," he said softly. The voices drew closer. The laughter carried again, clearer now, riding the wind like a bad memory. Anna's shoulders drew in, hands folding over her belly as though she could shield the child from sound alone. Eli watched the horizon, eyes narrowed, counting the voices. By instinct, 3, maybe 4. Men who had been riding too long without purpose. "Get on," he said. She looked at the horse, then at him. Her mouth opened, closed. Pride wrestled with something deeper. "Fear 1. I can't climb," she said. "Not like this." Eli did not answer. He stepped closer, slow, giving her time to pull away if she chose. When she didn't, he placed a hand at her elbow, steady but light, and another at her back. She was lighter than she looked, all bone and strain. The horse shifted as she was, lifted, snorted once, then stilled. Anna gasped when she settled into the saddle, breath catching as pain rippled through her. Eli held her steady until it passed. Their eyes met for a brief second. Something unspoken moved between the man. Understanding born of shared silence. He swung up behind her, reins in hand. The horse turned north, hooves biting into dirt. They rode without speaking. The land dipped into a shallow draw where scrub grew thicker and the wind lost its edge. Eli guided the horse off the main trail, following a narrow line only someone who knew the ground would notice. The laughter faded, replaced by the creak of leather and Anna's uneven breathing. When they stopped. The sun was low enough to throw long shadows. Eli slid down and helped her off. She leaned against the horse for a moment, eyes closed. You got family?" he asked. She shook her head. "Not anymore." Where were you headed?" She hesitated. "West. There was supposed to be work. Someone said a widow needed help." "Someone," he repeated. Her jaw tightened. It didn't turn out that way. He did not press. He had learned that some truths came only when ready, and others never came at all. They made a small fire, tucked between rocks. Eli offered her a strip of dried meat. She chewed slowly, carefully, as though afraid her body might reject it. The sky darkened, stars pricking through one by one. You shouldn't be out here alone," he said at last. I wasn't, she replied at first. The fire popped. Eli stared into it, seeing shapes that had nothing to do with flame. He thought of his sister, buried young, of choices made too late. What happened? He asked quietly. She drew her knees up, arms around them. I trusted the wrong man. That was all she said. It was enough. The night cooled fast. Eli shrugged off his coat and held it out. She resisted, then took it, pulling it close. The smell of leather and smoke wrapped around her. Her eyes softened, just a little. Asterisk, you don't have to do this, she said. You can leave me at the next crossing. I'll manage. Asterisk, he shook his head. You won't. Asterisk, she looked at him then. Really looked. The lines at his mouth. The tired set of his shoulders. A man who had learned the weight of consequences. Asterisk, why are you helping me? She asked again. Asterisk, he took a long breath. Because once someone didn't help when they could have. Asterisk, the fire burned low. Somewhere, far off, a horse whinnied. Eli's hand drifted to the rifle resting nearby. Asterisk, what is it? Hannah asked. Nothing, he said, though his eyes stayed on the dark. A twig snapped beyond the rocks. Then another. Too deliberate to be an animal. Asterisk Eli rose slowly, placing himself between Anna and the sound. His voice dropped to a whisper. Asterisk, stay. Quiet, he said, no matter what. Asterisk, the darkness shifted, and a shape moved just beyond the firelight. Eli's fingers closed around the rifle stock, wood worn smooth by years of use. He did not raise it yet. The fire threw light only so far, and beyond it the night pressed close, thick and watchful. The shape shifted again. Then a voice drifted. Out low and amused. Asterisk. Well now, the man said. Ain't this a cozy sight? Another laugh followed, closer than Eli liked. 3 men stepped into the edge of the firelight. Their hats sat low, coats dusty, eyes bright in the glow. One carried a bottle, another rested a hand too easy on the butt of his gun. They looked from Eli to Anna and back again, smiles stretching thin. Asterisk evening, Eli said, calm as still. Water. Asterisk, the man with the bottle, tipped it in mock greeting. Didn't mean to interrupt, just saw the fire. Thought we'd share the warmth. His gaze lingered on Anna. She pulled the coat tighter, chin lifting though her hands trembled. She's with me, Eli said. Asterisk, the third man, snorted. Funny thing about that, we've been following her most the day. She ain't mentioned you. Asterisk, Eli's jaw set. You're mistaken. Asterisk, don't think so. The bottle man took a step closer. Girl owes us. Ran off with something that don't belong to her. Asterisk, Anna's breath hitched. I didn't steal anything. Asterisk, didn't say you stole. He replied lightly. Just said you ran. Asterisk, Eli raised the rifle then, not pointing it, just enough to make its presence known. You'll leave now. Asterisk's silence fell, heavy and sharp. The men exchanged looks. The one with the gun shifted his weight, testing the ground. Asterisk, you alone out here? He asked. Asterisk, Eli's eyes never left him. No. That was a lie, but a useful one. The bottle man laughed again, though it sounded forced. Ain't looking for trouble, then you won't find it, Eli said. For a long moment, no one moved. The fire crackled. Somewhere, an owl called. Asterisk, finally. The men backed away, slow eyes never leaving the rifle. This ain't over, the bottle man said. We'll see you again. They melted into the dark, their footsteps fading. Eli did not lower the rifle until the night settled back into itself. When he turned, Anna was shaking, tears streaking down her face, though she made no sound. Asterisk, they're gone. He said gently, Asterisk. She nodded, pressing a hand to her mouth. They'll come back. Asterisk, not tonight, he said. But we won't. Stay. Asterisk, they broke camp in silence. Eli doused the fire, scattering dirt until no glow remained. He helped Anna onto the horse again, mounting behind her. They rode hard, cutting across land that offered no easy path, trusting instinct over trail. Asterisk, hours passed. The moon climbed high, silvering the plains. Anna's head sagged against Eli's chest, exhaustion finally claiming her. He adjusted his hold, careful not to jostle her. Asterisk, just before dawn, they reached a narrow canyon where rock walls closed. In offering shelter, Eli guided the horse inside and stopped. He slid down, easing Anna after him. She winced, clutching her belly. Asterisk's pain crossed her face, sharper this time. She leaned against the rock, breathing shallow. Asterisk, it's too early, she whispered. Fear flooding her eyes. Asterisk, Eli felt his chest tighten. He had seen births before, but never like this. Never alone. Asterisk, easy, he said, though his own voice wavered. We'll get you through this. Asterisk, the first light of dawn crept over the canyon rim as Anna cried out, the sound echoing off stone. Eli stood there, helpless and determined, knowing that whatever came next would change them both forever. The canyon held the sound of her breathing, every sharp inhale bouncing back at them as if the land itself were listening. Eli knelt beside her, coat spread beneath her, hands unsure where to rest. He had faced storms, broken bones, dying cattle butt. This was different. This was life pressing hard against the edge of the world. Asterisk, Anna's fingers clutched his sleeve. Don't let me die, she said. Not dramatic, not loud. Just a plea laid bare. Asterisk, you're not dying, he said, though his throat tightened around the words. You hear me? You're staying? Asterisk, another pain took her. She cried out, head falling back against the stone. Sweat beaded along her brow despite the cold. Eli wiped it away with the edge of his sleeve. Movements, gentle, reverent. Asterisk, I'm sorry, she whispered between breaths. I didn't mean for this. I tried to do right. I know, he said. She looked at him then, eyes glassy but sharp with truth. They said I was a burden, said no man would take me once he knew. Asterisk, Eli swallowed. Men say a lot of things when they're afraid. Asterisk, her lips trembled. I was afraid too. Asterisk, another wave hit her harder. She cried out, body tensing. Eli braced her shoulders, grounding her. Breathe with me, he said. Slow, like this. Asterisk, she followed, clinging to his voice as if it were a rope. Asterisk, between the pains. The world grew quiet. Dawn light spilled into the canyon, turning stone walls pale gold. A bird fluttered from a crevice, startled by the sound of life forcing its way through. Asterisk, I never wanted to be alone, Anna said softly. Just wanted somewhere safe. Asterisk, Eli looked at her belly, the life moving beneath skin. He thought of his ranch again, the empty chair by the table, the silence that waited for him every night. Asterisk, you won't be, he said, before thinking. The words surprised them both. Asterisk, her eyes filled. You don't know me. I know enough, he replied. The pain returned, fierce and unrelenting. Time lost its shape. Eli counted breaths, whispered encouragement, held her when her strength faltered. When the child finally came, the cry cut through the canyon sharp and sure, echoing against stone. Asterisk, Eli laughed then. A broken sound pulled from somewhere deep. Tears blurred his vision as he wrapped the small, slick body in his coat. He placed the child against Anna's chest. She sobbed, clutching the baby close, forehead resting against Eli's arm. It's a girl, he said. Anna smiled through tears. She's strong. Asterisk, so are you. Asterisk, they rested there as the sun climbed higher. Anna slept, exhaustion pulling her under. Eli sat watchful, rifle across his knees, eyes scanning the canyon mouth. The quiet did not last. A sound drifted in on the wind hooves, slow, deliberate. Asterisk, Eli's body went still. He shifted, careful not to wake Anna, and rose just enough to see beyond the rocks. Asterisk, figures moved at the canyon's edge. 3 men, familiar silhouettes. Asterisk Eli's grip tightened on the rifle. The past had found them again, and this time there would be no running. The hooves stopped just beyond the canyon mouth. Dust drifted down from above, catching the light like falling ash. Eli stood fully now, placing himself between the rocks and the woman curled on the ground behind him. Anna stirred, eyes fluttering. Open, the newborn pressed to her chest. She followed Eli's gaze and understood without words. The bottle man stepped into view first, smile gone, eyes cold. The other two flanked him, spreading slightly, testing the space. "Well," he said, "looks like we arrived just in time." Eli lifted the rifle and aimed it this time. His hands were steady. "You take one more step, you won't leave this canyon." The man chuckled, though his eyes flicked to the gun. "You really gonna kill over a girl who ain't yours?" Eli did not answer right away. He glanced back at Anna. She watched him. Fear there, yes, but also something else. Trust, she is now. He said the words settled heavy in the air. The man's face hardened. "You're making a mistake." "Maybe," Eli said, "but it's mine." The silence stretched until it snapped. The second man moved first, hand darting toward his gun. Eli fired once. The shot thundered through the canyon, echoing off stone. The man spun and fell, cry cut short by rock. The others froze. Eli did not fire again. He did not need to. "Leave," he said, "while you still can." The bottle slipped from the leader's hand, shattering on stone. He backed away, eyes wide. Now, fear finally breaking through. They retreated the way they came, stumbling, not looking back. When the sound of hooves faded, Eli lowered the rifle. His knees felt weak. He turned slowly. Anna was crying again, but this time her tears were quiet. She looked down at the child, then up at him. "You didn't have to," she said. Double quotes, "Yes," he replied. "I did." They stayed in the canyon until the sun stood high. Eli fashioned a sling for the baby from torn cloth. Awkward but careful. Anna watched him with a tired smile, as if memorizing every movement. They rode north together. The ranch came into view by evening. A small place, weathered, sitting alone against open land. Anna took it in, unsure, hopeful. "This is it?" she asked. "It's not much," Eli said. "It's enough." Days passed. Then weeks. Anna healed. The child grew stronger, her cries filling spaces that had been quiet too long. Eli learned the rhythm of small hands and sleepless nights. He learned how to warm milk, how to walk slow so the baby would sleep. He learned that redemption did not arrive loud. It came soft, in moments you chose again and again. One evening, as the sun dipped low, Anna stood on the porch, rocking the child. Eli joined her, leaning against the post. "She needs a name," he said. Anna looked at the sky, thinking, "Hope," she said finally, "because that's what she gave me." Eli nodded. "Then that's what she have." The wind moved through the grass, gentle now. The land stretched wide, still hard, still unforgiving, but no longer empty. Eli looked at Anna. She met his gaze, steady and sure. Somewhere far off, a coyote called. Life went on, and this time, none of them faced it alone.